Hey, whoever's out there, it's Dray, and it is August 29th. About a month and a half on tea. Not keeping exact time because I haven't looked at the calendar. Things are going well. I don't know how much changes are really occurring. There's some subtle ones. It's like I have to shave about every 3 or 4 days just because there's long stubblies that are obvious. There's not a lot of them. It's just the one or two really show up. Actually, it's more like 5 or 6. Woohoo! I'm gonna look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo soon. Um, my body shape is changing, and one minute I think I'm just gaining weight, and another minute I realize I'm not gaining weight. It's just redistributing, and the way my clothes fit are changing. A lot of my shirts are getting too tight across the shoulders and around the upper arms, but my hips and stuff really haven't changed at all. I'm still wearing the same size. I feel bulkier, which, I bulk up really easily. I haven't started going working out yet because I'm afraid that the changes would be so obvious at this point in time, especially in summer, that the people I'm not out to would want to know what the hell's going on. My new grandbaby is due the 1st. I'm getting excited about that. My daughter's miserable and huge with my first granddaughter. She had a C-section. She was delivered a month early, so my daughter didn't have to go through a lot of the end pregnancy stuff, and so now it's like this is a whole new gig for her. Let's see, physical changes other than feeling bulky. I was sick with a kidney infection for quite a while and was down. That was miserable. But during that time, my body's adjusting. Here's TMI, so if you don't want to hear this, just fast forward or turn it off. I'm losing mass in my breasts. They're feeling like empty and just kind of hollow. It's a little weird, but I'm digging it. It's not as hard to bind, but I'm having problems because with binding, because I have such a large chest that I get sores and stuff, and I have to, especially in this heat. It's between 95 and 100 here most of the time, and so I have a lot of sweating, and my sweating has accentuated tremendously, and my body odor as well. I never really had to use deodorant or anything before because I never had a lot of body odor. But now, if I miss the deodorant, woohoo! Yeah, it's good times. People can smell me coming. My little friend downstairs is not as little as she used to be, and there's been some discomfort with that, irritation, extremely sensitive, almost feeling it too sensitive to even touch or play with, but it's constant arousal. It's like I know I got something in my pants, and it's different. It's interesting because I never really had this kind of before. Sexual arousal was always in my head. It started in my head, and that was great because I'm more of a giver, not a receiver, and I think that had a lot to do with the fact that my body doesn't fit who I am. But now it's I broke up with the booty call. She's getting strange and doing some weird stuff that I'm just not really into. Being possessive and giving me ultimatums. And it's like, it's my life. I'm going to do what I want. So I don't have anybody to play with right now, and that makes it a little frustrating. Thank God for toys. There has been some moments of almost painful moments. It's like cramping and the sensitivity and stuff. And but it passed quickly. It didn't last very long. My muscles and stuff occasionally, my joints and things hurt, but that's okay. I've got arthritis anyway, so it's just in different areas than what I'm used to. And I think as my body is changing subtly. I don't have any problems with the injections. I didn't take any classes or go and had whatever. It's like, I worked as a nurse's aide for a long time and had, I'd done stuff like this. So my injections are going well. I don't have any problems with lumps or discomfort afterwards. And I'm doing weekly, so I'm not having the mood shifts towards the end of the week. I have noticed that I'm a lot less patient with some things, which I have to be really careful of because I care for my parents that are they're elderly, and I find that I'm getting irritated with like certain things that elderly people do that I'm just like, oh, come on, I heard this, I did this. And I'm just, I'm taking a deep breath and not opening my mouth and being a total prick so that's a change that I've always been very patient before. So that's something I just have to keep an eye on, be careful about. I feel pretty good right now. I feel like if the transitions are, the transitioning is happening slowly, which is okay for me. I didn't expect to change overnight, and I'm kind of glad I'm not, because I couldn't imagine what that would feel like, pain-wise. But I'm just starting to get breakout. I've got one pimple here, and so far the body hair really hasn't come up. I've got more hair on my legs and my arms, got a lot more hair on my arms, but nothing else is more obvious. And that's really hard to notice anyway. So that's pretty much how things are going right now. Life is good. I'm just enjoying the little changes as they occur, and trying to keep in mind that it's really easy to lose track of time and stuff and all this. Things just happen, but it took me a long time to get here to where I could start taking tea and looking at, starting transitioning. And then once you start, it's easy to start taking it for granted, and you don't even really think about it much, which I suppose is good, because it's not like I'm not any different than I was before. With the changes happening really slowly, I'm still who I am on the inside, who I've always been on the inside, which is a guy. So the outside changes really, it's not that I'm taking them for granted, it's how I've always seen myself anyway, I guess. Unless the changes occur with, discomfort or anything like that, or the fact that I have to shave every, third or fourth day because I've got like these long shaggy hairs. That's cool. Some people in my life thought that this would change me, who I was, and I'm like, no, it's just going to change what I look like on the outside. It's not going to change anything on the inside. And the stuff that is changing on the inside, it's not necessarily bad. It's about time I didn't have complete patience for everybody in my life. It's, I need a life of my own. So maybe stopping and just not being snappy and stuff, but it's going like, well, this is a bullshit moment, and I really don't want to go through it with you, and just being gentle in how I do it, but being able to put up more boundaries, I think, is going to be really awesome. So that's it for today, and I will put up a 2-month one, and by then I'll have had the baby, the new grandbaby, and be able to brag about her and stuff, which, I can't help doing that. I brag about my other granddaughter all the time. So anyhow, hasta.